Hi, language teachers. A good language class starts with a good activity. So today I'm going to explain 10 activities that I've used with my students. Let's begin. Activity number one is called word categorization. Word categorization works like this. So the first thing that you would do is come on over to this random word generator or any random word generator you could find on Google. After that, just generate a certain amount of random words. It could be 20, 30, 40 random words, generate random words, and you're good to go. Copy those random words and bring them over to a Google Doc. So I've done this already. I have random words in a Google Doc. And then you will task your student with basically looking at the random words and finding if any of them are related in any ways and to put them into categories. And you could do the same random word, you could put the same random word into multiple categories. So for example, we could look at like debate and rhetoric, and maybe we could talk about like political campaign or something like that. So we could put politics for those two words. Rhythm and tone, we could put music for those two words right there. So you could see how many random words categories that your student could create in the space of, let's say, 2 minutes or 3 minutes, depending on the level. Activity number two is called Spot the Difference. You will go online and find two very similar pictures and basically task your student with finding the differences between them. One Spot the Difference website that I have used with a lot of my students is this one right here by Reader's Digest. They have 20 different pictures with very, very small and subtle differences. So you could show your students a picture like this, two pictures side by side. They are very, very similar, but they do have differences between them. So for example, we see a little seed over here, but we don't see one over there. That's an example of a difference. This could be a nice little activity for your students to practice their comparing and contrasting vocabulary. Activity number three is called What Happens Next. This is a prediction activity. For this activity, you will show part of a clip to a student, stop it halfway through, ask them what they think will happen next, and then show them the answer. For example, if you come on over to YouTube and type in What Happens Next Zoom, you will see a very useful video that I've used with my students before, where they basically watch part of a clip and they have to guess what will happen next. Activity number four is just a memorization game. That could be asking students to remember a fact or an activity from the previous lesson. It could also be a memory quiz that you find online. For instance, I really like this one by the New York Times. It's a short puzzle to test your memory. It basically just includes a bunch of like everyday items, and there are 10 of them that you have to remember from a list. I'll put the link down below, but it is a useful one to use with students. Activity number five is just any ordering activity. That could be best to worst ordering, so you could give them a list of movies, for example, and have them order them from the best to the worst. Maybe you could tap into their linguistic awareness by asking them to order the easiest words to the hardest words, or the easiest sentences for an English or language learner to learn versus the most difficult ones to learn. Have them provide their rationale on why they made these decisions, and they could definitely develop their use of superlatives using the most difficult, the easiest, etc. Activity number six, this is a fan favorite, a crowd favorite. It is Two Truths and a Lie. Basically, you could share three facts about yourself. Two of them are true, one of them is not true, and you prompt the student to give their prediction on which one is true and which one is not true. You could do this vice versa and have the student share two truths and a lie, or another possibility is for you to actually find two truths and a lie about somebody else. That could be a celebrity, for example, like a footballer or a music artist. Activity seven, and this could be another good compare and contrast activity, that could be to compare two items. Have the students look around the room at what they have in front of them on their desk, for example, or around the classroom, and to find two objects and to basically compare them or contrast them from one another. Our next activity, What Just Happened? This one is similar to what happens next, but instead your student will be looking at a video or a picture and predicting what they think happened right before the picture was taken. Here's a very useful resource for this activity. If you come to justsomething.co and click on 26 hilarious photos taken right before epic fails, you could look at these different pictures that are tragic. They're taken right before something bad happens. For these pictures, you could ask students to describe what is happening, what happened right before they were taken, what could have been done maybe to avoid these mistakes from happening. And you could also ask them to predict what happens next. So you could kind of pair this into what just happened, what is happening, and also what happens next. Activity 9, Would You Rather? This one is a great one to get your students to support their answers, giving clear and honest examples. You could find plenty of would you rather questions right here on the internet. Just come on over to, for example, parade.com, 250 of the best would you rather questions. Of course, one consideration would be to make sure that this is appropriate to use in class and with your students. But at the end of the day, for each one of these materials that are online, you would want to look at them beforehand, make sure they're ready, make sure you have the appropriate words or phrases or videos, whatever it may be, to use with your class, depending on the level of the students and the type of lesson you have. We have one more activity for you all, and that is agree or disagree. Show your students a few maybe fun, controversial questions, such as whether dogs or cats make better pets, and have them support their answers. Perhaps they could give a certain amount of supporting reasons, 3 reasons, 2 reasons. And that's it, everybody. That should be enough right there to help you start your language class. Thank you so much for watching. Remember that these 10 activities, all of them have something in common. They promote meaning over accuracy. It's more important for your students to just communicate rather than to use correct grammar and pronunciation for these activities. They do welcome correction if you want to give that correction, but you don't absolutely have to. These activities really promote production. So they're good to just get your students writing, get your students thinking, get your students speaking at the beginning of a lesson. And finally, it prompts your students to use their previous skills before actually introducing new skills to them. If you would like to see more similar videos to this one right here, such as videos on teaching methodology and teaching materials, please check out Sala de Profesores. I'm Ryan. Have a lovely day.